Well, now you know who that song was about, the very cool Asher Bosley. Coming up, Bank of England Governor Mark Carney joins us live on the programme for a special broadcast by BBC News School Report. Now, though, 4 men are being questioned in Italy in connection with the suicide of a woman who battled for months to have a viral video that showed her having sex removed from the internet. The 31-year-old, identified as Tiziana, sent the video to her ex-boyfriend and 3 others, who put it online. More than 1 million people watched it, and she became the subject of jokes and abuse in Italy. Tiziana killed herself on Tuesday, prompting shock and remorse from many across the country. Well, we can speak to Giorgia Orlandi, an Italian journalist who joins us from Tuscany. Giorgia, tell us more, first of all, about what actually happened. It was a year ago that the video was put on social media.
Yeah, it was a year ago. It was in 2015 when the video was put on the social media, and since then Tiziana unfortunately became the subject of a great attention, not just from the people but from the media as well. She sort of became, if you want, a web phenomenon at the time because of the video that were wrongly spread. She thought she could trust these 5 friends, but instead the 5 friends just published those 6 videos in total around the web. And since then, Tiziana started suffering from depression, and her only will was to remove those videos that were causing her so much discomfort and grief.
And how high profile were her efforts to try to get these videos removed?
Well, she's been going through the ordinary process and procedures. So basically, she reported the case to a lawyer, and then she went to see, of course, different experts on the case, and then finally the case was brought to court. And we know that we've heard it just a few days ago, the court ruling emerged to ordering these videos to be finally removed. So she's been going through, if you want, the legal and ordinary procedure when things like that happen.
She was made fun of, wasn't she? And obviously struggled enormously with it. What was it like the last year for her, and how are people now reacting to the fact that she has taken her own life?
Well, it's been a very hard year for her. Not only she started suffering from depression, realizing that her name and all those tapes were around about, but also she was obliged. She had to change her name. She changed location. She was not living where she was born anymore. She moved to a different region in Italy, and of course, this was getting just but worse. And in terms of reactions, of course, there have been a lot of online abuse, criticizing her, not just on internet generally, but especially in social media, Twitter, Facebook. So the reaction by the people has been quite strong on that, and this obviously has caused her, as prompt this state of discomfort for Tiziana.
So 4 men are now being questioned in connection with what has happened. How is that? What is happening with that?
Well, yes, of course, 4 men have been now are under investigation for defamation, for what has happened. Is a very serious case now. Of course, the justice has to do its course, but mainly what we were speaking about reactions, of course, and what is really striking is the amount of reactions coming not just from the public but also from institutions and also representatives of the media has been prompted.
So how are people talking now about what the legacy of her experience and her death might be?
Well, there's an interest case. The director of the online version of Il Fatto Quotidiano, a newspaper, has apologized for having published an article back in 2015 on this sort of web phenomenon at the time when the videos started to spread. He has apologized, saying we should have taken more care in doing so. And so basically the removal of these videos doesn't solve the case. What really solves the case is the fact that we have to take a pause and think about the legacy of this, especially from a journalistic point of view, because of course the way the story had been portrayed back in 2015 obviously is responsible for the way this woman then felt and for the suicide ultimately.
Giorgi, thank you very much. Now, 37,000